So, morning guys, we're going to pick up from where we left off on the last video, and you'll probably remember I pulled the electrics down at the straw heap getting a load of straw the other day. So what we're going to do is just going to go and try and find it, because there might be something we can salvage from it. I know where it came off because I watched the video, and if you watch the video, the last video back carefully, you'll actually see where it comes off. I won't tell you where it comes off. Well, you'll be able to figure it out actually, but I think this will just pull out. Yeah, so what we'll do is, farmer weren't too bad about it. He actually laughed it off, which was a relief for me. We'll leave that there. We'll see if we can go and find it. We'll take the bike down there, see if we can go and find it, and then we'll get that fixed now, and then it's ready for the next person to use. Right, let's go. Can only be, did not fall off here. I've had a little look and I can't find it. Which, if you watched the last video, you'll see we come round this corner, it's there, and then once we turn around, it's gone. So it's around here somewhere, but probably all in this slush and mud and buried now. I probably ran it over and pushed it in, I don't know. I thought I'd have found that, that's annoying. If I found it, I might be able to salvage the plug off it or something like that to use another time. I definitely thought I'd have found that. Yeah, that's annoying. It'll be buried under that mud now. This is the pad where we put the straw stacks, so as you can see, with the wet winter we've had, it's just made a hell of a mess down here. So when it dries up, we'll come down, we'll scrape it all up and we'll level it all off again. Can't do nothing with it now, you just make a bigger mess. While we're down here, we're going to look at the field. This is just one of the fields. Well, this isn't a good sign to start with, is it? 13th of March, and it's, well, at this bottom end it's wet. Jesus. I didn't think it'd be this bad. We'll just walk out onto the field a bit. Not getting better. So we've sprayed this field up already, ready for planting, but you can see it's still soft as anything. But not as bad as I thought. There's a little bit of water laid about. There's a little bit of water laid about in the low spots. And there is still a bit of standing water down here. We need to get planting as soon as possible really, but there is some good news. We've got high pressure for next week. I think it's going to need a little bit more than a week to dry out myself. And you don't need to walk across the whole field to know it's wet. So, well, let's hope it stays dry for a couple of weeks at least. They're bringing Keith's tractor back today with the drill attached. So we'll show you that when it comes. It hasn't been really wet this last week. Sunshine, showers, but it hasn't dried up much, has it? So yeah, that's the situation there.
That looks good. Come on. What do you reckon, Andrew? Does it look good or not?
Not bad. I'll give you a phone number with Michael.
Yeah.
Couldn't find the cable this morning. It's going to be in the mud somewhere, so I'm going to try again later. I'm going to bring I'm going to put the tines on, see if I can scrape it up, because it's got a plug on there that I need for a reference to make another one up. Weaving has sent us the drill back, so you got a seed tank on the front. We'll have a look at it later because Keithy knows more about it than I do. But, yeah, that's a hell of a thing. That looks mental, doesn't it? Just got to load the hay truck up. We've got a few deliveries to do.
Way.
Yeah.
Come on, up.
Hey team, back on the road.
Get them in your side.
All right.
You'll have to get out the way because they can't see a gap.
Can't get up. Come on. Where are you? Go on, get up. Get up. Oi. Need to get some seat covers.
Yeah, I know. That's another job on my list.
Right.
You found the straps all right?
Huh?
You found the straps all right?
What strap?
They're all in there.
Where?
Under the seat.
Oh.
You didn't find them, did you?
I didn't know there was something under there.
You lift that and pull it forward, and there are two big buckets in there, so put them in there.
I've been down that straw heap twice now. I still haven't found it. There's a plug on the end, and we don't need it, but if you've got the plug on the end, you know which colours go where to the wires, because but I think it's on the internet anyway, so annoying though, because it's a curly wire. It can't be that hard to find. I've gone looking under the trailer. Where are we going?
This way we're going to go Wormingall.
Sweet.
Just hoping we'll get it on the track.
Easy, don't worry. You got me on the case. Thought you had a point.
I have 12:30, but I knew he wouldn't be finished them calves before for 11:30. There's no way. They haven't even started, have they?
No, they have. They've got 7 or 8 in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how many's in there actually. He's putting them all in there because there's some younger ones.
There's well, we had 2 last night.
Yeah.
One the night before that he's been. Has he taken that one out of the pen?
Don't know yet. Don't know if he has. That strap, when you've got 2 round ones at the front, where you can't get an angle on the strap, you sort of have to pin it downwards more than...
Yeah.
I strapped it twice.
That ain't coming off.
No, not 2 straps. I had to strap it twice because every time you hinged it up, the strap slipped down.
Yeah.
So I have another go at it. this?
Did he tell you about me running with the ditch yesterday?
No.
They were pulling out Shep's Drive. They'd reversed in, and I was coming down the road, and I see him sat at the top of the drive, and I'm thinking, load of rubbish on the back. And they start reversing down. I thought, I ain't having that. So I'd gone past, so I reversed up and turned round in three-corner field there, the gateway. Went back, and they must have clocked me coming back. So
they had a load of rubbish on.
Yeah, so they come to the top of the drive again, and I was look at the number plate. So he starts chopping out the window. What's your problem? What's your problem? And I was dialing Andrew at the same time because I knew he was outside. So I thought, well, perhaps they'll come up and help me. Anyway, he's really giving it large. You know, what's up? Blah blah blah. And I said to him, these are our fields. You can't just go dumping that. Oh no. And then his mate said something and went to get out the door, and his other mate grabbed him. By now there were two cars coming one way and one the other. Yeah. So
this was last night?
This was yesterday, about 11 o'clock. So then his mate said, come on, we'll go. They both got real thick Irish accents, whether they were put on or not, I don't know. And he pulled the wagon out, and he was going to take the front of my pickup off. Luckily, I'd still left the pickup running. I rammed it in reverse and went backwards. And he missed. I thought he was going to hit the front and take the headlight out. And yeah, they missed that and went off past the farm. Andrew's on the phone by now because, as I'm saying to them, they can hear Andrew on the phone, and that wound them up. And I said to Andrew, I think they're trying to dump rubbish here. And then Andrew, I said, oh, they're leaving. So Andrew says, follow them, get their number plate. And I said, well, I've got the first bit of it. It was 04DL. And I said, the rest is numbers. And I was so busy having this rear up with this old boy, and he was really going off on one. I couldn't concentrate on the both things. So anyway, he went back past the farm. So I sort of hightailed him, but there were two cars between me and them. Followed him up to the top of the hill, and he went off towards Horton Studley, and the old boy in front of me was going real slow. Nowhere for me to watch this cyclist. Nowhere for me to overtake.
Oh, great. He's not going to let me go, is he? He's going to let me overtake him. Absolute tool. That's safer, isn't it, mate? It's safer from behind you. Yeah, that ain't going to work.
Yeah, anyway, I lost him. I didn't know which way he turned at Horton, but it was all garden rubbish and a few builders' bags in there, so you know they were going to tip it.
Oh yeah, it's usually at our place, isn't it? You on? Excellent work there, Paddy. As always, strong, isn't he?
I can smell. It's the only thing strong about that dog. Marcus looks at him, he said he's got no saving graces. You look at his eyes and they're just empty.
You're a
There's
good dog.
nothing there.
You're a good dog, aren't you? Hey, ow.
Sick as shit.
Just one more toe couple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sweet, we'll do it after dinner. Nice one.
Don't have me swearing on it.
Don't worry, just leave it to me. Right, we just got to load up our next delivery. Probably have some dinner. That drill just looks mental. I can't wait to see that in the field. That is just crazy. So Lynn usually does all the deliveries. In the week she's got an appointment to go to. But I didn't know where that yard was, so she took me she took me out there. Lynn is the farmer's other half, if you're wondering. Right, we need one hay, one straw. I've got one ready. Let's park this up. When we get back to the yard, I will say, I'll tell you what the guys have been busy doing, because doesn't seem like we've done very much today. But the new drill's here. Hopefully Keithy will show us around that, because that's a hell of a thing. I didn't realise it was going to be such a massive piece of equipment. It looks massive, it's just how it's laid out on the tractor, that's all that makes it look quite big. But as soon as the ground's right, they are going to be busy for a couple of weeks. They'll be solid drilling for a couple of weeks, I'd have thought, if the ground permitting, that is. And we need at least a week and at least 10 days of dry before we can do anything. Let's just pray for some dry weather, because otherwise we're going to be getting to the point where it ain't worth putting in the ground. These they only wanted 10, but they comes in packs of 14. It's easier to take 4 off, isn't it, than take 10 loose ones.
Yeah, take all in packs.
Yeah.
I think they're just outside.
These keep snagging me. These.
Yeah, you think they just say, oh, well, that's 4.
Yeah. So all the balls are nice and cleaned out. Look, who did that yesterday? Any trouble with Norman?
No, he's quite good yesterday. He's got his women the other side of the wall. He's a bit calmer now.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Give him a stroke then.
No, he'll give you arse.
It's not just me he hates then.
One of those days.
Yeah. So the guys have been pretty busy this week. They've mucked out one of the sheds. Andrew and the farmer this morning was tagging some cows and calves, so there's now some separated cows and calves back in the cow shed. Yeah, so they've given this whole shed, so it's just cows in here now. They'll have more calves, and then as they have more calves, we'll put them into this shed here. It's just easier for us to tell who's had a calf and who hasn't, because once you've got 10 calves in there, you can't, unless you've got your book, which sometimes you haven't. It's easy to get mixed up with who's had one and who hasn't. But well past halfway now, so I'll just go and take you to that little white one, because she's just up here. Here's the little white one that was born on one of the last videos. Lovely colour. They got their own little crush here, so keeps them a little bit safer, saves them. What will happen is the cows will start what's called bulling about. They'll start jumping on each other, and when they're doing that, they can easily stand on a calf. We actually had it a couple of years ago, real nice calf as well, nice big calf, and they were bulling about, fighting or something going on in the shed, and he got stood on and it paralysed him, and we did try and keep him as long as we could, but in the end you can't do nothing with a paralysed calf, so we had to get rid of him, and which is just the last thing we want to do, is get rid of a calf. It's just, the farmer was feeding him all the way up till time they were going out, but you can't go out with the others, and you can't feed him forever. You're just so busy, you can't keep him alive, poor thing. I think I got a picture of him. He was real nice, just the calf you want, just up and about, knew what he was at, and yeah, shame that was. Right, what were you doing next? We're going around the back here, just checking the cows just before we go home. What we'll do is, once the guys get their head around that new drill, is we've got to put big tyres on as well, so we'll do a video with the drills and the big tyres and why we use them and why we've got the new drill, and we'll just do a proper video on the drill for you. Been a bit of a mishmash video. Didn't get the trailer done, so still got to do that, but just that's the way it is sometimes, you get caught up with other things. So, and that's it for this one.